Have a good night.
Have a good night. We are pushing live right now, guys. So we're going live into the team page. So give me 1 second. That is popping up right now. And then we'll be ready to kick it off. There we go. Okay, perfect. Perfect.
Let's go on Facebook,
Let me
I think.
find my, where is my mute all on everyone? Why am I not finding that on here for some reason? Anybody know why? Laura, why is it not showing up?
Ah, I don't know.
There it is. There it is. I just found it. Good Lord. Woo,
Oh, okay, perfect.
Woo, okay, there we go. I'm like, no background noise. Okay, so Colonel Tom, I'm asking you to unmute, please. Please, please, please. Get you unmuted. There you go. Can I hear you? Laura, I unmuted you too. Are you unmuted?
I am unmuted, love.
Okay, you are unmuted. And we've got Norma here with Colonel Tom.
Hi.
So thank you all for being here this evening. So tonight, every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. we meet for our business meeting, and we have different topics every week, depending on what we're doing and what information we want to share, promotions and things like that. So tonight I have asked Colonel Tom and his beautiful wife Norma to join us because we had a conversation this morning about 7:30 this morning while I was in the car. Laura, you know me, if I'm in the car I can talk on the phone. It's hard outside of that because I'm on this computer on Zooms, right? So we had a conversation this morning at 7:30, and he was telling me all about what he and Norma are doing back in their hometown. And so I wanted everything, I listened to everything he said. I said, can you repeat all of that tonight so that everybody's able to hear how you're building your business in person with people on a daily basis? And so I wanted them to come on and share the different types of ways that they are meeting people, reaching out with people, to people, connecting with people, and of course, give you guys the opportunity to be able to ask them questions and myself and Laura as well too. And I know Laura's going to have some questions for Colonel Tom as well and Norma. So Colonel Tom, you ready to take it away?
We're ready. Give us a question.
Okay, well, right, I know because you guys, we shared your video. It was sometime earlier this year, so we'll have to search you in the page, Laura, and pop that video back up where you had your binder of information. So tell me, how do you prepare for talking to people, for going out in the public? What are the materials you have, whether you're doing an in-person presentation or you're just chatting with somebody randomly? How are you prepared to be able to have a conversation with someone?
Well, the best thing that's happened to me is the lady sitting next to me, and beautiful Norma, because now we're a team. And what we've been doing that's been different is we sit down in a huddle before we go anywhere and say, okay, what's our game plan? Do we have the equipment? Do we have the patches? Do we have the literature? And do we have a fountain pen, for example, or walk out of here and without the materials, then we're kind of at a disadvantage. Norma has a unique style. And I'll let her talk about it. Why don't you, she's been the superstar. I mean, she just signed another gold this afternoon, and she's now got 6 gold and 3 silvers this month, and she's on fire. And what she's got is a way, she retired 43 years in real estate, and she's using those talents now, and I'll let her describe what she's doing, because she's got a nice approach and it's working for us, and that's the key.
Well, I'm an 85-year-old lady and never thought I'd go back to work, but I have enjoyed helping people so much that it's been very exciting to see what happens to them. I did my first patch party, by the way, at my former real estate office where I worked for 44 years. And that was a lot of fun. And I've made contacts with, well, I've belonged to the same church for 50 some years. And I've just had lots of friends that I've made through bridge clubs. And actually, I've met a lady at the casino who wants to do a story on us in the newspaper. Just lots of exciting things that have happened to both of us. And it's been very rewarding. I think the most rewarding thing is Tom has started, we used to give out X39s, but as we age, we need more time than 2 or 3 days with an X39. So we have started using our ice waves for people with immediate pain and getting that immediate pain relief. And that has given them confidence. I think that's probably been our biggest help, is getting the immediate pain to people. I think I broke my wrist in March of this year. And when I came home, well, I played 3 holes of golf after the break, and I came home and Tom put an X39, X40 on my wrist. And 2 days later, I went to the emergency room and I had a broken wrist and they put a cast on me. We put the X39, X49 on my cast with Eon on my hand because my hand was swelling. And it was 2 weeks before I could get into the orthopedic doctor. And when I went in there and they did the x-rays, and I also had the x-rays from the hospital, he said, "Lady, this is almost healed. I'm not even going to put you in a brace or in a cast. I'm going to put you in a hand brace, and that's all you have to wear." I said, "I want to see in 10 days. In 10 days, he said, "You can throw that brace away. Your arm is completely healed." So that is a good story that I give all of my clients, because I know it worked on me in 3 weeks. And at my age, he said should be 7 to 8 weeks. So I was excited about that.
Wow. And so that right there, I love, so a couple things. I love that you said, you know, we don't know that X39 is going to work instantly, right? I don't know. And so sometimes people need something instantly. They're in pain. And, you know, somebody just asked at the Zoom we were just doing, what do you give out when you're doing a patch party? And I said, if I'm doing an in-person patch party, I'm going to give everybody one X39 to stick on the back of their neck or wherever they want it. But I've got my ice wave because they're in pain. And so I'm going to call them up and say, who's in pain? Let's get your patches on right now with your ice wave so we can get rid of that pain, because I don't know that the X39 is going to take care of that pain instantly. But I do know the ice wave will. And Tom, I want you to talk about your clockwise and what you're doing, because sometimes people get a little confused with that. So I'd love for you to share that. But I do want them to say, before I let you do that, Tom, you heard Tom say that Norma has signed up 6 golds and 3 silvers in 3 weeks this month alone. So it's not like she's going and signing them all up with ice wave, right? She's signing up golds. They're ordering other patches. So Tom, talk to us a little bit about that with your method there on how to patch them on the spot. Tell about the lady you met at the gate at the pool. Just you're like, don't feel all weird about this, but pull your shirt up.
Well, this is one thing that I added to our booklet. Our booklet is what's the reason why we're so concerned about stem cells? And I was researching and I tried to find out, you know, what's the percentage here. I couldn't find anything because we're doing with multiple populations, and I said it differs. So I just said, I'm going to have each one of these until I get out here, based on a lot of documents, and not documents, but doctors saying, you know, about halfway this and 60% that, 20% this. So I just put this out here and said, okay, that's our real target. We want to get the body back, but we have to accomplish what we show here that's happening to us. We can't control this. It's happening. That's aging. And when you go to the doctor and says, well, you're aging, so you can't do anything else. That's the important thing. So that booklet we try to form to keep the distributors be able online so that they can progress through that and finally turn it into a sales document form. So give me your question again, Tracy. I got off.
So the question is on the ice wave.
Oh, okay.
When you're just walk up to a random strange person and you're automatically doing the clockwise, getting rid of the pain. Talk to me about how you talked to me about that today, where you were saying you put it on like 12 and it didn't work and you moved it to 3 and that kind of thing.
I'll go back a little bit. Okay. I'm in the pool exercising and I do it every day. And keep and ride a bike for an hour every day. So I'm trying to keep in shape. I'm getting the energy back. And at 87 years old, I feel like a younger man. So I'm in the pool and this lady's trying to get into the gate, and it's got a key lock. And so I got out of the pool and said, I'll help you open the pool, get in. And she limps in and she says, oh, I just moved into this area and I got all these boxes and my back is killing me. And I said, well, wait a minute, maybe I can help you. So she said, well, what do you have? I said, well, I got these patches that can help you with the back pain. She says, you do? I said, yeah. I said, and if you want me, I'll come over to your house. It's only a couple of doors away. And she said, sure, come on over. I need it badly. So I go over there and I start talking to her and trying to give her the same old, not the same old story, but the approach. And I could see that she could hardly walk, and she's got these boxes to move around. And I said, if you don't mind, I said, roll up your back, your shirt up your back, and I will, and point me where it's most sensitive. She did. And so if you can picture a clock, okay, I start with the point of pain, and then start at 12 o'clock. And as David Schmidt shows in his video, I was using half of the white so I could move it around. And I said, 1 to 10, any pain? Yes, it still hurts. Move it to 3 o'clock. Any pain? Well, it feels a little bit better. 6 o'clock. Wow. She says, I can walk. I can bend over. I can do these things. She says, that's a miracle. I want those patches. I said, well, I'm going to get you those patches. So it turned out that giving us X39, now we also live in Florida, and in Charlotte County, it's the oldest county in the state and oldest county probably in the United States. Now we're just a different population. And you put an X39 on somebody that's got very little stem cell activity going on, and you're not going to get much with 2 patches or 3 patches. So I said, we need to get the wow factor. We need to prove to ourselves and to them. Now, there's a risk when you put those things on there and you're telling them that some pain's going to go away, and it does. God, you feel like, oh my God, I'm a miracle man. But it did work, and she became a gold customer. Talked to her sister-in-law. She got a gold package, and it sat right here where we are in the kitchen right now, and signed them both up. And they're not. And as soon as we tell them, as soon as you get your package, give us a call, because I know you probably be worried about how to put the patches. We'll come over and do that. And that's the big thing that Norma's been able to do, because she can communicate with a lot of these women better than I can. And it's been working so far. So we went away from the X39 here because we got a younger population here in Kansas. And so we've got a lot of young people that are overweight. They got young people that are in pain. And so Norma has got a great list of people. And
in fact, I can't get them all called every day.
So we're doing the same thing that, but you know, every time I do this, I say a little prayer, and I said, God help me, this has got to work.
The other thing that I think the patches helped me tremendously is I was put on a blood thinner about a year ago. And I got all these red splotches all over my body and my hands. I have not one today. And after about 3 months taking the patches, those splotches left me. Sunday, we met a gentleman in church that had a patch on. And I said, oh, Don, you're wearing the patch. And where did you get it? And she said, well, a lady from the church sold me the patch, but she moved to Oklahoma, and I really don't know anything about this patch. So Tom and I have invited him into our home, even though we know it's that lady's customer. We have invited him into the home and offered to give him one of our books. I had 20 books, new books printed when I came to Kansas, and I'm down to 4. I need to order more tomorrow because I have about 6 or 8 customers still in the thinking stage, and I have a couple that I think are going to be distributors, good distributors. So I'm excited about that.
Wow. And they want to know what books.
Everybody wants to know what's the book.
Well,
How's the book, Colonel Tom?
We showed.
Show your book you made.
Okay. This is the book right here, okay?
Now, it's
And
not actually that book. So just so you guys
No.
know, that's the front cover of a book, but it's,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
saying
The
he
front
used
cover.
that as the
Okay.
front cover of his book.
as Stacy said, use whatever's available, okay?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
safe, it works, and it's affordable. What is it? X39. Why? And we want to show the reason why, because you're losing stem cells and you're getting old, okay? We don't want you to get old. We want to ignite you. Okay, then we go back to the stuff that we normally see, the stem cell, and focus on, do your inventory and be honest with yourself. Okay, that's the one thing people say, well, I don't know, I don't have any pain. But then they limp away from you and say, oh God, how could that guy be not in pain? And so we focus on that.
And that's your health tracker.
Then, yeah, then we go to what's available. Okay, what do you have? And this is where Norma does a real good job.
I asked the people what their goal is with these patches. Do they want to activate their stem cells? Are they hurting someplace? Do they need energy? Do they need weight loss? What do they want? And I ask for their goals, and then I write down their goals, and then I try to match patches to what they tell me they want.
Mhm.
And I think that's why I've been successful, because I have 3 that are couples that have purchased them, and they all have lots of issues. So that's why I think it's been very successful for me.
And then followed up by our advertisement. We got myself, who was on the podcast quite a while ago. And because for local, we got Dr. Lopez, who I sponsored, and he's a cardiologist. And so it's kind of advertising. Then we go to, okay, what do you expect? Okay. Are we going to deliver what you expect? Well, we don't know, because everybody's different. And that's why we've gone to, let's get the wow factor first, so we can prove something, even though there's a risk that it may not work that day, but it's worth it. And then we got, Stacy put this together a long time ago, the various patches that
Yeah.
cost, yeah. And that's what we show, because we're taking an interest in them. We're not just selling X39s, because we know that.
Hold those up for me if you don't care, Norma. Hold your book up higher. Now go back to the protocol page where it has like the different types of patches together. Yeah, Leah made those a while back for one of her events. And those are great because people can look at them and they can say, oh, I have hormone digestion issues, or I need help with skincare, and they can just pick the pack.
Right.
So yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you.
Like I say, the only thing I did on my own was to make the PowerPoint slide on the stem cell degradation. And then we got the price list. We're not afraid. We'll show what the price is, because we want to be up in front with them. And then followed by the order form. So if you're a new distributor, we say, okay, just follow this through. And then bottom back, we've got the activate our stem cells, and that's it. And we've gone through a couple of iterations, because we wanted to say, can we start from where we are and work through to the sale? And that's what this is to follow. So it's easier for a new distributor to catch on and just follow the pages. So that's where.
So my question before we go any further with that, so your first sheet, that chart that you got that shows your declining stem cells with a lightning bolt, where did you get that?
Right here.
Tom made it.
I love it.
It's a PowerPoint slide. And I listened to a lot of your other guests, like doctors and stuff like that, talking about, half of the cells by the time you end up through the 30s are gone, and then they decline. But somebody say they got 20% by this time. And so I just kept on having it down there, because I couldn't find anything other than that. And but I wanted to show that with a lightning bolt, you're almost, nailed to the wall by the time you get 60, and everything else starts falling apart. And
Well, if you haven't trademarked that piece of paper, I think there's many on here that would really love a copy of that.
Not a problem.
No, that's what they're asking. So that first page, obviously, Colonel Tom, we'd love for you and Norma to share that if you don't mind. But
Norma?
all the rest of the pages you have, those are all available in this team page, the Millionaire Patching Rockstar page in the files tab. And so they're all there. All of them are available for you to print off yourself. And so if you want to take, would you go to Office Max, Staples to have those made?
Yes, we did.
Staples.
Yeah. Yeah. So they just spiral them together, but everything is already there. So he's not going to sell you a book. You can just print the stuff off yourself and go to Staples and have them bind it for you. Or you can have your own little bound. You can buy a little thing for $10
Yeah,
off Amazon that
the
binds.
printing cost is the biggest thing. And so
Yeah.
we want to be careful that we qualify the customer before we give them out. And Norma's knowing so many people for so long. I mean, she knows where the people are that can afford it or aren't going to turn it back, and trust her as a honest person. And I just come in here and watch her do her thing most of the time. And
It's been fun coming back to Kansas for the summer months and seeing all my friends and being able to talk to them about exciting things that are happening in our lives, because we both feel younger, we both feel happier. It's amazing.
And we named the company GYA, not like YMCA, but it's Get Young Again Community, because it's rather than enterprise or anything like that, it's the community that we're serving now. And it's just really exciting times. And because I was working this alone for a long period of time, and I'll be able to give ideas to Norma and get feedback, and she'd give me ideas, and we huddle together and say, okay, this is our plan. And we've been, because of her patches on her knee, now she's able to ballroom dancing, which we were on last night, and we planned what we're going to do, and we ended up
handing out some cards.
I was gonna say, didn't you patch somebody last night at the ballroom dancing?
No, we didn't patch anybody, but we have a man that just was diagnosed, that I know, that was just diagnosed with Parkinson's. And I told him I thought maybe we could help him. And so I gave him his business card, and then we sat next to a couple who her back was killing her. And we told her we would, give her patch her and see if we could help her. So we're waiting for a couple of calls from last night.
And I was sitting at the table while we took a couple of dances off and watched these professionals really that are all in high level dancers. And sitting next to me was a friend of Norma's, and started talking with him. He goes down to Florida sometimes, and he's got his wife has a back issue, and I'm just focusing on backs because I had a back pain for years, had about 28 injections in my lower back, L4 or L5, and had lumbar lumpectomy, and I still had back pain. And I started doing patches, and I haven't had back pain since I started with the X39. I play golf. I can swing golf clubs easily. I can go out and play 18 holes and not feel any pain. I can exercise in the pool and not feel any pain. And so the pains have changed me. Okay, they have changed me completely. I'm a new man.
Today, I patched a girlfriend, a friend I've known for 10 years, and we've golfed together. I patched her husband. He cannot travel. He's been in back pain for 5 years, and he's been to every doctor. He's had back surgery. And we patched him today with 3949 Eon.
Sold him then.
We sold him, yeah. We sold him 3949 Eon.
Oh, energy enhancer.
And Ice Wave. Ice Wave. And we've sold him a month's supply, and he wants to see how it goes for the first month. But he wants to go to Florida. They have a place in Florida, and he has not been able to fly to Florida for 5 years. And he wants to go to Florida.
And I did the 360 patch thing on him before I left. I said, last time we talked, this is our second trip out to his house. I said, last time we talked, we were on a schedule that you wanted to go to Lake of the Ozarks, and I heard it. I had hurried up and I didn't complete it. And I said, I want to prove to you today that it can work. Okay, so I said, roll up your shirt and let's try it. And what we did is we put the tan one and in the middle and then went around and ended up at the 6 o'clock position. And then I told his wife, I said, tomorrow, put the A on here, and we put got a marking pen on his back because he can't get his head back or his arm back. Marking pen, put X39 here and A on here. And I said, that's the long-term solution. Ice wave is a short-term fix, okay, but we want to fix this forever if we can. So
that was very exciting to walk out, and hopefully we can help this man.
And
that's my goal, to help people.
The lady I talked to gave me an interesting correlation. She was Dior, a salesperson for Christian Dior, okay, and she said, when she saw the patch, she says, now I've got a product. Okay. Before I had a promise and I couldn't prove anything because I just sold them on a promise, but now I got a product. And when you put Ice Wave on somebody that it works, you got the product that is really going to close the sale. And then we can talk about the other parts and so forth. So there's a risk involved. It may not work, but it's been working pretty well right now. So
I love it. Laura, what questions do you have for Colonel Tom and Norma? I can tell your wheels are turning.
Well, yeah, y'all are fabulous. And I'm not just saying that. I hope everybody on here can see and feel your enthusiasm for what you guys do on the daily. And you're living like everybody who's 85 and 87 should be living. And I hope everybody that's on here sees this. And the fact that you guys are the age that you are, and you have such a network of friends really all over because what you've done in the past. And I feel like I want everybody to know that we all have that amount of people that we can contact. There is no limit. And I love, Norma, you're really falling back on the things that you used to do, and you're not inhibited to reach out to them and go, hey, I got to show you what I've got. So I think that's fabulous. And I want everyone to feel like that and do that. But this is a question that I think is going to help everybody. The majority of people really focus in on a silver pack, right? And we're so thankful some days when like, oh my gosh, I got a silver, right? But you're like a gold machine. How do you put yourself in that place where you're not inhibited to talk about the gold, because that gold pack really brings value, not just for one person, but for two. So can you tell everybody a little bit about that?
Well, because I have a husband and wife that are both have issues. I have a girlfriend that I played bridge at her house, and she has a knee problem. Her husband has a neck problem. So I talked to them about the patches, and Tom and I went over one morning or one afternoon and talked to them about the patches. And we sold them a 30-day supply of basically the X39, the X49, the Eon, Ice Wave. And she says, I think I'm going to run out of Ice Wave. I'm even sleeping longer. She takes medicine at night to help her get through the night with her knee. And she's even sleeping longer now that she's using the Ice Wave on her knee. And we suggested to her she put it on when she woke up in the morning when it hurt, like at 3 or 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and put it on then. And she's been doing that, and now she's sleeping later in the day. So we know that has to be helping her.
Right, right.
Well,
so
one thing you should, sorry, Lori.
That's okay.
One thing that we found out that I'm working the back office now for Norma. And when you stylize the package, like we're going for gold, okay, it comes up and it's got 5 gold or 3 or 4 X39s are already in there. Well, I just go in there with my cursor and move it down to whatever the order is. So I normally 1 X39, 1 X49, a couple energy enhancers if possible. Ice Wave, we say you need 2 because we have already demonstrated and you only got 15 days. So we want 2 packages there. And it turns out that it says 5 sleeves on our form, but we ended up with 3 extras.
7 or 8.
Yeah, 8, yeah,
I
depending
love
on.
that.
So
Yes.
you can say, hey, with this, if you go up 1, you get a couple more patches that basically are free. I mean, but
Right.
yeah.
So you're obviously showing that you can be just as comfortable talking about a gold pack that you can a silver pack.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Right? The gold pack is going to give you more. Do
Right.
you ever?
I'm more comfortable with the yellow, or the gold rather, because when you put 3 X39, that's 3 months before, we really can get back and talk about any more. And by that time, you find out, well, I had a customer that lied to me. He said he was using them and he wasn't. And then he said that, well, I don't think they work. And he said, my golf swing speed got so good that I couldn't hold the golf ball onto the fairway. I said, well, that's not bad. Everybody wants to get speed up their swing. And that's where the pros are doing all the time. And then, so I did a couple times with the 360 and the Ice Wave, and no, he didn't get anything. So one day I'm driving through the area and he's on his bike. He said, I need to talk to you about these and so forth. And so it turns out that he told me he'd been using them. And I bought back 2 of his sleeves, and he hadn't used them at all. They hadn't even been opened. They were still in the package from FedExpress. So but I'm not gonna be worried about that.
That happens, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I hope everybody that's on is really listening intently to Norma and Colonel Tom, because if you'll notice, they are acting like they are the expert when they're speaking to somebody. Oh, you need 2 packs of Ice Wave because you're going to want to use this every day.
Well,
And
yeah.
we need to get you X49, X39, and E on because these are the reasons that you need it.
Right.
And I feel like the power of suggestion or being firm, but with respect and grace, is how we need to really help people because they only know what we know. That's what they know, right? So do you find like when you're chatting with people that they're very receptive to what you have, you're not concerned about cost, you're really concerned about them as a whole? Do you feel
Right.
like that's what makes this work so well for you guys?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
that's what we've talked with Don at church on Sunday, and he has a sciatica problem. And if we could have had an Ice Wave in our pocket, we could have probably done it right there. But we're going to get together with him probably tomorrow, or Friday. So
No, we see a lot of people that are just given X39s and left alone. And to me, that's not going to be a good follow-up to get reordered.
Right.
So we're taking our time and moving at a pace that is comfortable for us, that we can work with and still have fun. And we joined, the ballroom dancing. We go to American Legion for dancing. I joined the Rotary just to get in the community and find out what's going on. And I've done a couple of speeches in front of Rotary people. But Norma's got this way of she's got a lot of people that have confidence in her, and that's very important. And so when she sits down and said, tell me what your needs are, your goal. And, you whether want to lose weight or you want to have a pain or something like that. And she said, well, these are the things that we recommend. And she's so confident that it works, that and she knows because
I've been trying all of them, and I know what works on me, and I'm hoping it will work on all these other people. So
the key is listening.
That's right.
Hearing them.
And I learned that
And then
from real estate.
providing for them.
I learned that from real estate. You got to wait, hear what your customer wants and what their goals are. So,
Well, you guys are amazing. I mean, absolutely phenomenal. And I hope when I'm 85 and 87, I don't know if I'm going to be ballroom dancing, but I will be doing some other things, I hope. But
well,
Stacey, I just think this is phenomenal.
It's 5 nights this week. We've been busy. We just keep going.
You're living your best life.
We play bingo, we've danced, we're going to soccer, my great grandchildren's soccer games. We just try to keep ourselves really busy and out there talking And I always wear a patch here and they have to ask me what that is.
And one thing I learned the hard way is if you don't go out there, and whether you're planning on seeing somebody or that you could use the patch or not, make sure you got the equipment to do it in case it happens.
Right.
And I've been caught by that a couple times, and I said, geez, I wish I had my cards with me or something of that nature.
We now both are carrying
so-
cards and ice wave with us.
So we plan, we revise our plan, and then we run and execute the plan. And when we critique ourselves, we come back last night out dancing and said, okay, what did we learn and who do we have to talk to next? And it's working wonderful. I mean, it also helps our relationship here in our home. And you know, instead of being upset with each other, we're working as a team. And
We're
that's
busy.
great.
We're retired, but we're busy.
But it's fun. It's fun now. And we didn't get in there for the money. We came in because it worked for us. And because we saw so many people that were in need, and we get this joy of seeing people able to walk, bend over and stuff like that, and see the smile on their face
It's exciting.
and see them change. And that's worth more than, you know, the dollars we spend to do this. But it's something that I never thought I'd get this far. And I still not get that as far as I'd like to, but that takes time, and we're not going to. We've got something that's working now. We want to make sure that we don't screw it up, so to say. You know.
I don't think you're going to screw it up. I think
that's
you're
gonna
fantastic.
happen.
You're already senior directors on your way beyond. So I've got a question in the chat. Why are you signing them up with gold instead of 2 silvers for a couple? Why wouldn't you have the husband a silver and the wife a silver? Why are you signing the gold? I think I know your answer, but someone asked that.
Because I have just figured out I can get 8 patches, 8 sleeves for them with the gold.
Mhm.
You can't get that many sleeves with the silver if you figure it out. So I just go for the gold when they both want to be using them. So I always do 2 X39s. And today I delivered, because I had an inventory, they only ordered 1 X49, but when we went to see them, when they got their patches, they realized they needed another X49. So I delivered one out of my, because I ordered a diamond, because I'm trying to get my children on these. So, because my children are in their early 60s, and I think they need them. So I delivered a 49 today because I sold them a gold, but they still needed another 49. So.
Well, one of the things that comes to mind here is that when we got a good customer, like we did this afternoon, and we did 2 visits of one that already signed up, who's does therapy work as a massage therapist, and the other is a former builder here in the Kansas City area. But we said, okay, we got enough inventory. You're going to have these. We want you to get started tomorrow. Okay, so we said, okay, we're going to give you a 39 sleeve. We're going to give you a 49 sleeve, ice wave sleeve. And when your package comes in from LifeWave, you can return those gifts to us. Okay, those are the ones we let you use. And that's working, because now it gets us a chance to have to go back and talk to them, and also to be able to say, okay, now that we're here, let's make sure you got the idea of where the patches go and so forth. And that seems to be kind of a tough thing to understand, you know, well, first of all, it's tough to understand what the body is doing and healing itself.
Right.
But we want to make sure that they're patching right, so that and a lot of people think, well, I only have to put on a neck and 2 fingers below the belly button. And so, no, this one you can put anywhere. And that's what I say, okay, once we get, and I tell them that they're during blind studies, you have to maintain rigor likeness, or else there's no statistical significance if everybody's doing something different. So too many variables. So you got to maintain that. And that's the reason. That's a start. But now that we find out we can put it anywhere, and that helps. But with aging people like us, it takes a little bit of time. It took me at least 2 weeks to have an inventory of myself and saying, God, I feel different today, and I started looking at I was in a pool at the time, and I'm looking out at the sun, and I'm looking at the blue sky and all that stuff. And I said, I feel happy this morning, and I haven't felt happy in a long time. And in fact, at the beginning of last year, I said, hey, God, take me, because I'm just going to one doctor after another. I didn't come to Florida to have 3 or 4 interviews with a doctor every week. And that was what got to it. So.
Wow. Pretty impressive, the two of you are. And I know you've probably inspired many people, regardless of anybody's age on here. And I'm pretty sure a lot of us are going, I want to be them when I grow up. So,
My daughter even says that.
yeah. Well, I look forward to the day that I can look around and say, oh my gosh, I have children in their 60s. That's a gift to be able to say something like that. And it speaks volumes about.
Norma's got, I'm with 6 great grandkids now, and took a picture of her with all boys except one. And, where's the focus? On the girl.
Of course. Oh, I love it.
Thank you for having us.
No, thank you guys so much for taking the time. I know that you're busy out there dancing and bingoing and sharing with people, but I really appreciate you taking the time, because a lot of times people, they are a little scared. What do I say? How do I do this? What's going to happen? What are people going to think? And you covered all of that tonight. So thank you so much for taking the time to pour into everybody. And thank you for taking the time and making it important in your life to go out there and continue to help other people, because you put your fears and worries aside and said, you know what, I can do this. I'm not an expert. I'm not a doctor. I don't have any degree. I just care, and I'm going to go do it.
Dr. Stacy, you've been very instrumental in me having the guts to go further.
Well, I'm not there doing it for you, Tom. So it's all you, buddy. I'm just here to help you in the wings, in the background here. But you and Norma are out there making a difference. So I know everyone got so much value out of tonight. And so if anybody does want to see the recording, it is in the Facebook page. I'll pin it to the top, so that way it's there and you guys can all see it and tag people and share it as well too. Any last things you want to share?
What's the best way to get this out to you?
Do you have it on an email and a PDF?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, just email it to me and I will save it as a PDF, and I'll put it right there in the team page as well too, in the file tab.
You can't see what I said here, that this is not based on facts. It's based on what did I say down there?
You say
it's not scientific.
For graphics purposes only, not scientifically proportioned.
Yeah.
Got it, for your graphics.
I just want to say that I can't prove that this is it, and I don't know anybody that can, because there's so many different nationalities and everybody out there. The difference in
Dr. Stacy, I think I saw one of those at the last conference in Tampa.
We did.
With the showing how the stem cells operated, and we couldn't find that online. That's why he made our own.
Yeah, that was on Connie's presentation back in May.
Yes.
Yeah, so that it's not actually like a corporate thrown thing. That's just same thing like you putting stuff together, being resourceful. So we love that. We love people that are resourceful and just go create what they need and want. I love it. But also not recreating the wheel, because you're using all the business materials and things that we already use. So. Well,
we'll see you guys in Orlando.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, we can't wait to see you.
We will. We've got a presidential suite, so we're excited to have you two come up and join us.
Wow. Okay.
We're going to have a good time, good get together.
And when I get there, I'll give you a couple of ideas that I had on how to train people in the back office.
I can't wait. I love it. I'm going to have you on in a couple of weeks. We can go over that. You can train them in the back office, Colonel Tom.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you guys for being here this evening. Have a fantastic evening, and we'll see you all soon.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.